What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back with another video. This is just pretty straightforward, plain and simple. This is my most wanted Star Wars Black Series action figures for the future. These are figures I'd like to see within the next, I don't know, maybe 2 years or so. I think a lot of these characters have been kind of glossed over. Some are kind of a little bit more obscure to maybe the general crowd, but to the hardcore fans, I think there's a lot of people that would really love some of these figures. And a lot of these characters have still been on my list from years ago. I mean, back in 2015, been on my list. So a lot actually have been chopped off the old list, but still, nonetheless, I thought I'd make a list just because I don't do too many of these videos. And the Black Series is one of the few lines I'm actually going to continue to collect. So without any further ado, really, I mean, there's not really much else to say. Let's get started. First up is Zam. She's been glossed over quite a bit. I know she is kind of a not as fleshed out character, but she is featured in the Jango Fett video game and in Attack of the Clones. So I think it's time that we get Zam a action figure, and especially seeing as they're doing a lot more clone stuff, I think that can happen. Next up is one of the big bads from Jedi Fallen Order is Mr. Talos. He's just a really cool looking villain. I could see him end up coming back possibly in the next one. Supposedly it's supposed to be a new game next year, so I'd like to see him get his action figure made of him. And I think it'd be really cool, especially with seeing as we got some of the characters from that Fallen Order. Next up, we've got Starkiller. Starkiller, just another one that's been on my list for years, and I'm just going to keep putting him on the list because I'm pretty sure at this point everyone wants to see him. Even though he's non-canon, probably never will be canon. It just doesn't make sense for even the lore. But he's just a fun, cool character that was a part of a really cool game that you could play. Next up is Mr. Rapal. He is a key factor to getting some of the rest of the cast of characters done from Jedi Fallen Order. And I think it makes a lot of sense to get him, seeing especially as we have Zeb's body that he could use a lot of for the retooling and such. So, yeah, he's on there. Next up is Greez. I'm just chopping away at this Jedi Fallen Order cast because I love the game. I think Greez is a really cool character. Yet again, you've got Rio that already used that body mold. You could retool it, use it, and give us another character off that body mold. I mean, I'm sure that was an expensive tooling to do, and they've really only used it for Rio, so why not use it for Greez here? Next up, we've got Mirren, and yes, one of the Night Sisters, one of the last Night Sisters, if not the last one. She's a key factor, whether it's going forward in the story in the next one. Maybe we'll be using her as a playable character. That would be pretty cool. Or, you know, just in general, I think it's cool to flush out the rest of that cast and get it going. And I'm sure a lot of people would agree. And maybe she's been overlooked. Maybe give her some cool effects, like some green effects. That'd be pretty cool. Next up, what a surprise, another Jedi Fallen Order character. Cere, I think, is the most important one out of maybe all of them to be released, because Cere is such a huge responsibility with the character and growing the character of Cal Kestis and trying to help him and groom him and trying to help him learn from her mistakes so he doesn't do the same thing and grow from anger. So, I mean, it just makes a lot of sense here. She's a great character. She's really cool. Hopefully she's playable in the next one too. Next up, we've got Gregor. I would love to see Gregor. And I don't know, there's really not much to say other than he's just another character that's been on the list for me for a long time, and I would just like to see him fleshed out. Like I said, none of these are really in order. They're just kind of characters I'd like to see. But I think, especially seeing as we're getting that Boss exclusive, which needs to be retooled and be on a bigger body, but it'd be nice to see Gregor. Next up, we've got Savage Opress, and Savage. I mean, come on, we've gotten multiple Mauls now, and we still haven't gotten a Savage. Like, what's going on here? We've got Dooku, we've got Savage. We need a Clone Wars Emperor, which he should have probably been on this list, which I didn't put him on here, but regardless, it'd be really cool, I think, to toss him on here. It makes sense, especially seeing as Maul's coming out with a new figure from the Clone Wars later season, and makes sense to have Savage on there. Next up, we've got some Star Wars The Old Republic. That's right. We've got Shae Vizsla, the badass herself, the amazing, awesome, just fantastic design. I love her design. I love her character. Man, it just, why even going back and watching those SWTOR just cutscenes and trailers are just amazing. And she's a figure that actually has been released in the vintage collection, but goes for like $400 now because she's so rare, which is ridiculous, but I'd like to see her. Next up, we've just got Rebel Troopers. I want Rebel freaking Troopers, man. Come on. Why haven't we got a more Rebel Troopers at this point? I'm just kind of threw in a bunch of photos of just mix and match troopers. Put a bunch of heads in there, make it a deluxe. I don't care. Throw a bunch of different, race and creed and genders and whatever heads. Throw them all in there. Make it a 2-pack. I don't even care. Just throw a bunch of shit in there, and with some new guns too. That'd be cool. And next up, we've got Bastila. I mean, come on, how could you not have Bastila? We've gotten Revan, and now we need her, especially with the revamping and re-release of Knights of the Old Republic. I think it makes perfect sense for them to release this figure. She's been a top-tier character on my list for a long time for a release, and I think it's just due. And last up, as I've been asking for years, for almost a decade now, is for Darth Malgus. And he's always going to be on my top of the list until I get him, damn it. I don't even care what version of him we get, whether it's the maskless kind before he gets all the damage, or it's even the one that we just saw in the recent trailer that just came out for the Sith Legacy, Legacy of the Sith, sorry. I don't care. I need this figure in action figure form. I need it. I want it so bad. I don't even care if he doesn't belong anywhere else on the shelf. Just put him by himself and he'll look fantastic. But I've never wanted a Black Series figure of a character this much, other than maybe, more Luke Skywalkers. But no, seriously though, Malgus is definitely been my top tier pick for a very, very, very long time, and I hope they finally do him, especially with him having some sort of resurgence and relevancy coming out with the next expansion in the ongoing saga, which is SWTOR. But anyway, I digress. That's pretty much my list here. I tried to make it as short as sweet as possible. Sorry if I fumbled over any words or anything like that, but yeah, let me know what your list is of characters you would like to see. I'm pretty interested in hearing what you all have to say, and I think it'd be a fun time to make some of those lists. Maybe if you haven't, if you have a YouTube channel, go ahead and make your list, and I'll check that out too. But I think it would be pretty cool to get some characters that are, not so stuck in the Skywalker saga. I think it's good to take a step out of that. And I know Jedi Fallen Order is technically within that saga, but some of the other characters I picked are, outside of that. So I think it would still be nice to do that and have some some change of pace characters. I think they need to start touching on more and more expanded characters and reaching outside of that same old saga. But that's pretty much it for me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.